voices and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM 917. Text and WhatsApp on 0703 175 6537. You can listen live online at www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
My pride did not see we were trouble, they couldn't wait to leave. Now we can rest in peace. Ooh, fight it up, that's what he said. All of the voices in your head, and all these kids who look for safe. When it gets tough, just go and pray. You be like, tell me what you want, girl, I got
20 minutes past the hour of 9 on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Good evening. My name is Sumta Titilayo Ajamma, and I thank you all for joining me this evening, Tuesday, the 18th of January, 2022. How are you? I hope your day has been lovely. I welcome you to Adult Conversations, where we share real-life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Here in Adult Conversations, you give all the advice by contributing on the subject matter without judging. Adult Conversations on Women Radio runs every Monday through Thursday because we are here to break the culture of silence. So if you have a story you want us to bring to Adult Conversations, please send your story along with your name and contact number to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Remember, send your story along with your name and contact number to 0703 175 6537. Tonight on Adult Conversations. He wants pregnancy before marriage. He wants pregnancy before marriage. My name is Rose, 27, and a sales agent. My fiancé is 34 and a factory worker. My fiancé wants to marry me, but wants me to get pregnant before paying the bride price. I insisted on white and trad marriage, but he said the bride price is more important than that. I'm thinking of leaving him. Is this enough reason to leave a 2-year-old relationship? Please advise. Now, this is Rose speaking tonight. She's 27. She's a sales agent. Her fiancé is 34. He's a factory worker. Now, she says her fiancé is ready to get married to her, but he wants her to get pregnant before paying her bride price. She insisted on white and trad marriage, but he is saying paying her bride price is even more important than doing that. So he's not saying he wants her to get pregnant before the white and trad marriage. That's not what he's saying. He's saying he wants to get her pregnant before paying her bride price. So she's saying, I'm thinking of leaving him. Is this enough reason to leave a 2-year-old relationship? Please advise. Now, the number to call to advise Rose tonight is 07000 917 07000 You can also send a text or a WhatsApp message onto 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. And of course, wherever you are in the world, you can also listen via the stream link www.wfm917.com. www.wfm917.com. Now, please, when you call, ensure to turn down the volume of your radio so that we can avoid that disturbing feedback that we get when you don't do that, and that we can hear you properly, so we can actually hear you properly. Thank you. Also, we would like your advice to be kept straight to the point, precise, short, simple, and constructive. That's what I always say. Short, simple, and constructive. Please don't stay too long on the phone lines so that we can hear from other people as well. Please don't stay too long on the phone lines so that we can hear from other people. Short, simple, and constructive. As always, we take messages off the WhatsApp platform before we begin to pick up calls from the phone lines. So I'm going to the WhatsApp platform now. And if you want to be a part of that WhatsApp platform, the Adult Conversations Family WhatsApp platform, all you have to do is send your information. And that is your name and contact number. Send your name and contact number indicating interest in joining the group. Send your name and contact number via WhatsApp, indicating interest in joining the group. Send that information to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. And you will be added on to the group. Now I'll take messages from that platform and then we start to take calls. This one is coming from Adetitu from Ikorodu. Adetitu says, "Good evening, all. Try and sit him down and talk to him the reason why you do not want to get pregnant before marriage. And 2, don't leave." Okay, and that's from Adetitu from Ikorodu. Francis from Ibafo is saying, "Good evening to all the Adult Conversation family members. I hope our day was great. A broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. Please permit me to use the word fornication, because the Bible has given us guidelines as regards marriage. Before a man can marry a lady, the man must carry out all the marriage rites before anything. So you telling me that your boyfriend wants you to be pregnant before marriage is very wrong. He must carry out the necessary steps before marriage, the necessary steps for marriage before he gets you pregnant. If not, it's better you call off that relationship. What's the guarantee that he'll marry you once you get pregnant?" And that's from Francis from Ibafo. All right, this one is coming in from Queen from Ikorodu. Ask that what is this world turning into? Potential husbands and wives are supposed to remain virgins till they're married. Is Rose's fiance entertaining fear that she might not get pregnant after marriage? Is there anything he has heard concerning Rose's past that is making him to insist that she must be pregnant before paying her bride price? Questions, questions, questions. My advice to Rose is that if the idea contradicts her religious beliefs, take a walk. Because it is dangerous to displease God and please anybody, not even the man who claims to love you. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Walking away from a 2 years relationship is not too much of a sacrifice for a blissful marital life. Marriage is a car without a reverse gear. Move on with your life, and your so-called fiancé is not ready for the institution called marriage yet. And that's from Tokma from Ikorodu. Tolu from Lagos is saying, "It's crazy for him to insist you get pregnant before he pays your bride price. Don't fall for that, Rose. You both can go for medical checkups and confirm that both of you do not have issues with your reproductive systems. Then you're good. Anything else, leave the relationship for good." Amomi from Ikorodu is saying, "Marriage is not do or die. Follow your mind. If you don't enter like this, it's not easy to come out." And that's from Amomi from Ikorodu. Okay. Tantas Segwe from Ifo is saying, "White wedding with pregnancy? Holy Ghost, what is this generation turning into? Listen up, Rose. Your so called boyfriend does not trust you. The only reason a guy may ask a lady to get pregnant before marriage is if he thinks the lady doesn't have a womb. So, my dear, no try more. Person will love you, go do the needful. All right, so the last one is coming from Gold from East Solo. Gold is saying, it's possible you may get pregnant and he will say you should give birth first before he pays your bride price. And then you give birth and get busy with babies and other life issues. At the end, you may have lost yourself and all that you represent. And that's from Gold from Isolo. Thank you very much for those messages. Please keep them coming in. We're officially opening the phone lines for messages. For calls, pardon me. We're officially opening the phone lines for calls. So kindly call in and give your take on this. What is your advice to Rose? For the benefit of those who are just joining, Rose is 27. She's a sales agent. Her fiancé is 34 and a factory worker. Now she's saying her fiancé wants to marry her, but now he wants her to get pregnant before paying her bride price. She insisted on white and trad marriage, but he's saying that the bride price is more important than those. According to her, she says, I'm thinking of leaving him. Is this enough reason to leave a 2-year-old relationship? Please advise. Hello, good evening.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Shagun from Solo.
Hello, Shagun. Thank you for calling. Are you calling for the first time?
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. So, I think most of the answers have been in the messages that came in earlier. Very clear. From the biblical perspective, a man is not supposed to touch a woman to get married. So, if he's asking for pregnancy before marriage, that is totally wrong. If he wants to get married, he should get married. And if he has any concerns, he should go do some checkup with his fiancé. But for him to ask for pregnancy before marriage, it's wrong because that will be fornication, and God doesn't like that. So he better does the proper thing. There's always, the Bible says, dead on the vow. So he should do the right thing, do the medical checkup, go through the church, whatever processes are there, finish it up and get settled, basically. So I think if he's asking for that, then she should walk away, basically.
Thank you so much, Shagun. Please keep calling. We want to hear more from you.
All right, thank you.
All right, first caller of the night, and that's coming from Shagun from Isolo. Shagun is saying he doesn't understand why Rose's fiance is saying that the Bible insists that the marriage bed should be kept holy, basically, and anything before marriage is fornication. But he's saying God does not like that. And if Rose's fiance is concerned that maybe they can't have children or anything like that, they can go for medical checkups. When they're certified okay, then they get married. But Rose should take a walk if her fiance insists on getting her pregnant before marriage. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
Comrade,
your voice is sounding so different nowadays.
Okay, because of too much meat for Christmas, you see the digest.
No, be me talk that one. Thank you for calling. How are you today?
I came to go to I shared one, and I took one until it finished last Monday.
You don't chop bellyful.
So yes. I don't know what this world is turning into. If you see how I'm angry this night, well, shout out to Francis from Ebafo. So it is against the law of God that a man should force a woman for her to be pregnant. See, the person who says they get pregnant don't talk to God or Jesus Christ. That's number one. What is assurance that this guy will pay bride price if this guy carry back? That's why I'm shouting out for Francis this night. Let me tell you, I want to hit the nail on the head. And I'm enjoying other conversations, but it's not my fault for her to take my advice. Let me tell you, let her on. Himself, I don't know what it is in the society. Why you go tell the girl to make him carry pregnant first? And the girl is saying 2 years relationship. You never have waited for 10 years relationship.
Somebody is commanding you to carry belly. Don't you know that that marriage is going to be marriage? Marriage is supposed to be honorable and enjoyable, but somebody started commanding you that to carry belly first. We are not going to command you. So what I want to tell you is this life to be said wrong. If you have psychologically and sociologically watched whether it take care of you. Because psychologically again, I'm so certain that this girl don't trust this guy. That's why he's saying that she wants to leave him. She doesn't trust this guy. Wait till I say, let him carry the line before you go marry him. Yes. What I want to say is that she should run. But if you like, make you don't connect my advice. Some people when they provide things, they have already got their up their mind before they tell us. But I enjoy what you are doing. So my own is say, run. Which guy come on to be that one? So later I'll go back.
Thank you so much, comrade. Thank you for calling. So comrade is saying that he also cannot see the reason why Rose's fiance is saying this. He's saying that he thinks that there's something suspicious and that he doesn't think that Rose should stay in this relationship for much longer. He's saying that if now he's putting all these conditions, if now he's commanding you or telling you specifically that you have to be pregnant before you can get married to him, then how much more the things that will come around after the marriage. He's also saying, what are the chances that he will still marry you after you get pregnant? What are the chances that that is still going to happen? He's saying marriage should be enjoyed, not to be managed. And he's also saying that Rose seems to not trust her fiance. That Rose seems to not trust her fiance, and that's also a concern for him. So he's basically saying, in light of all these concerns, he's of the opinion that Rose should not stay any longer in that relationship and she should take a walk. So thank you very much for that, comrade. All right. Some things are basic in this story. This seems like your everyday next door situation. But it's more common than one would actually think. And then the fact that it's common doesn't make it right. Rose is 27. She's a sales agent. Her fiance is 34. He's a factory worker. Why is he saying that she must get pregnant before paying her bride price? Hello, good evening. Good evening. Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Turn it down.
Yeah, this is Phil Godwin from Shegun, sorry.
All right.
I think she needs to also do some research because guys are funny these days. Has he gotten married before? Has he gotten someone pregnant? Has he tried to get maybe his former wife pregnant and she didn't give birth and he left her and he wants to get married again and he's insisting that she must get pregnant before marriage. So there are a lot of questions to be asked here. A lot. She also needs to know the real reason why he's saying that. If they're very close, then she should know why he's asking for that.
But will he really tell her the real reason why he's asking for that? Do you think that if this was the case, if he was previously married or previously engaged to be married, or let's even say married, because your scenario sounds very feasible, that he was married before, his wife now didn't have babies years into their marriage, and he doesn't want to repeat that scenario. So he's trying to make sure that she has a baby, or at least she can get pregnant before marriage. If this was the reason, do you think that he'd be honest with her enough to tell her this?
Well, it's his choice for him to be honest or not.
Okay.
But he also needs to be sure of what she's getting into because marriage, as someone said earlier, doesn't have a reverse, yeah? God doesn't like divorce. He doesn't want anything like that. He wants, a wonderful marriage that will lead to something great. So if he's insisting, I don't know what his Christian faith is. I don't know what his stand is. But he shouldn't be asking that. He shouldn't be looking for that. So
thank you very much, Shegun.
So now, just one thing. Getting married doesn't make man with children. There are several married people right now. They still don't have children. They don't have babies. God that gives children. A man doesn't have the power to actually create a child. God has already put that law of procreation down. We as human beings or as men would actually carry that out with a woman. So God has already created, He has already put that power in place. But getting married or not getting married is not a guarantee for a child. So if he loves her, should go for her.
Okay, so Shegun wanted to add the fact that Another reason why he possibly is asking for this is possibly from previous experience where he has been scarred. And he gave this scenario that it's possible that he used to be married. And if he used to be married and his former wife or his previous wife didn't have children years into their marriage and she didn't get pregnant before marriage, he's saying that maybe this is where he's getting that reservation from that makes him want to be sure that she can have babies before they get married, before he pays her bride price. So maybe I'm sure I can say maybe that's where that insecurity is coming from. And that's where he wants to try and make sure that there's a solution even before getting married to her. But he also adds that there is no guarantee that in marriage there will be a difference. So the fact that you get married doesn't mean that you automatically have children, and that's what he's saying. So bringing the point to that, um, this is a very tricky situation, and Rose is in right in the middle of that situation. She wants to get married to him as well, but she doesn't want to get pregnant before marriage. She doesn't want to get pregnant before marriage. Now he's saying that he wants to pay her bride price first, but she's insisting on white and trad marriage. He's saying that bride price is even more important than that. So that she cannot even say they should do the white and trad before she gets pregnant. He can't she can't even say that because he's saying get pregnant, I pay a bride price, and then we go from there. And she's saying, is this enough reason to leave a 2-year-old relationship? That's what she's asking. So this relationship is 2 years old. And she wants to know that why should I do this? There's so many comments that have come in so far, and I'll read some of the new comments that are coming in. So this one is coming from Iwara from Magboro. Iwara says, my dear, I don't think this guy is crazy. He is only wishing for the best for you. Please follow in his direction. And that's from Iwara from Magboro. This one is coming from YO from Ikeja. YO says, every reason you know is not to create peace of mind for you at the long run. Every reason you know is not going to create peace of mind for you at the long run is good enough to let go. First, he may have his reason for wanting pregnancy before marriage consummation, but I feel it is selfish and ego driven. It's very clear for him children are the major determinant of a good marriage, not love and companionship. But he forgot that people do lose their pregnancy or even have stillbirths. When that happens, his major reason is jeopardized, and then at the end of the day, he will go for the next target who can offer him his real intention for marriage. Invariably, you're not a priority, but children are. Besides this, does sex before marriage align with your personal values? If not, value alignment is a factor that makes marriages work. Think on this and make your own decision. You are the one that wears the shoe. Thank you very much. Going back to text messages, Comrade is saying, is he capable for the wedding? How are you sure he's going to pay for it? This is against the law of God. Sometimes this is an insult. I'm sensing psychologically from that lady that she doesn't trust the guy. Francis, we've treated this type of matter last year. This is a command to the lady. What kind of decree is this? Pregnancy before marriage. Sister, please run. Otherwise, that marriage will be managed and not enjoyed. He's saying that we don't know many of these questions. We're answering what we hear. So we don't know he used to be married. We don't know if he used to be married. I don't think so. Nothing like that has come up. Bride price is the main thing, but I don't like pregnancy first. He doesn't wish her the best. It is from his selfish interests. So this is in line with what YO said. And this is in line also with another comment from the WhatsApp group as well. So more people are saying that it looks like he is not being that he's being selfish with his request. Now, I do not know their religious beliefs. I don't know what faith they believe in. But in this case, their faith just might be something to definitely hold on to and definitely take into consideration. And the reason for this is because if they're Christians, pregnancy before marriage, even sex before marriage is really not in the law. It's really not one of the doctrines that people follow. It's really not it when it comes to what to do and, your lifestyle as a Christian, basically. pregnancy before marriage is basically wrong, let alone, I mean, sex before marriage is basically wrong, let alone pregnancy before marriage. Now, pregnancy before marriage just does not fit into Rose's idea because she's saying she's thinking of leaving him. If it fits into her idea, she will not be thinking of leaving him. She'll just go along with it. Now, this brings us to the why. Why does he want her to get pregnant before marriage? According to Shegun, it's possible that maybe this has happened to him before and he wants to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's possible that maybe he was in a previous marriage where he thought that he was going to have children in, and that didn't quite happen because maybe the person didn't get pregnant or the person had issues sustaining the pregnancy or retaining the pregnancy, and all that developed. And now he's trying not to repeat the same cycle. We don't know if this is true. There's no indication of anything like that. But his point was that Rose needs to make her research and she needs to really ask him what his true reason for wanting her to get pregnant is. Now, this is where I ask Rose, have you spoken to him about why he wants you to get pregnant? What did he say was the reason why he wanted you to get pregnant before marriage? What did he say was the reason? Did he say that, oh, he just wants to make sure that you can have children? Or that he wants to, or that this is something they do in his family? This is a tradition for them? Or this is something that his mother or his father wants to make sure that everything's okay with you before they get married? What is the reason exactly that he has given you? Because technically, children are important in marriage, but they're not the sole reason for marriage, just as YO has said earlier. So as a man, if you're listening right now, as a man, what are some reasons that could be tenable for Rose's fiance wanting her to have children, or at least to get pregnant before marriage? All right, please try to call back. Please try to call back. Okay, so what are some reasons that are tenable for Rose's fiance wanting her to get pregnant before marriage? Is there anything that could possibly be a reason for this? And I'm asking this is maybe if she can understand where this is coming from, she can make more sense of it. Doesn't mean that she's going to agree, but at least she can understand where he's coming from and they can have an honest conversation at the end of the day. Hello, good evening. Hello,
Hello.
good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ismail Abdullah, calling from Ajun, Ogun State.
Abdullah, calling from where?
Ajun in Ogun State.
Ajun. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Abdullah, are you calling for the first time?
No. I think I've called sometime, but that has been long. That has been a long time.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for calling again tonight. Please go ahead.
Yeah. My contribution tonight is first, we should look at what is marriage in our own society. The bride price is what is very, very important. The white we are talking about is the wedding of our colonial masters. Are you getting me? So we should not take it as priority. Then, as a Muslim, God does not allow you to even have any kind of intimacy, that you're having sex together before marriage. That means the issue of having pregnancy before marriage is not allowed. In Islam, it's not allowed. And I believe the other religions doesn't allow. But one thing we also need to find out is that hope the two of them have not been fornicating before. If they have been fornicating before and the guy all along he has been suspecting pregnancy and the pregnancy is not coming out, now he voiced out. But if they have not, the girl should stick to his stand, but not by in a rude way. He should try to let the guy realize why having pregnancy or even having sex before marriage is not good. If he's a Christian, we should let him look at it in the biblical way. If he's a Muslim, we should look at it in the Quranic way. Are you getting my point? Peacefully. It doesn't warrant fighting or that, but you now, so if they really love each other, stop them and let him feel reason why such thing it is not good.
Thank
it's
you
not
very much.
Fighting. Then now we should also then, because when you look our way of marriage in Africa, then the bride price is the most is the important one.
Yeah, you said that.
Are you getting that? Because in Islam, by the time you know you want to marry, by the time you seek the consent of the family, I want to marry this your child, and you pay the bride price, from that day you have become your wife. Other ones, white weddings is colonial, this thing. Then going to the court is just to to legalize it in our former way. So I think if the bride price is what we want to do, that shouldn't be the issue. The only issue is having pregnancy before marriage. Because I think people that contemplate of having pregnancy before marriage, and at the end of the day, they have the pregnancy. But by the time they went to this thing, the lady later lost the pregnancy. And they not see maybe 4 or 5 years without any issue. So having pregnancy is not a guarantee that you have children.
Thank
so
you,
please, they
Abdullah.
didn't
Thank
take
you
that
very
as
much.
excuse or to destroy their
Thank
relationship.
You. Thank you.
They
Thank
should try and iron it out.
Thank you so much. All right. So Abdullah is basically saying, even as a Muslim, that is still not acceptable. Even as a Muslim, sex before marriage is not acceptable, let alone getting pregnant before marriage. He's saying that her fiance wanting to know that she can have children is not a guarantee for having children after marriage. He said that even if you get pregnant before marriage, chances are that you can miscarry or have a stillbirth, something like what YO said as well. And then at the end of the day, you spend years still not having children. So what was the point in the first place? But the part where I got a little bit confused is where he said they should make sure that they were not having sex and not fornicating before marriage. Yes, again, as we both said, as we've said, that is wrong. Both Christian and Muslim, they both agreed. But if they're having sex before marriage, there are ways to prevent pregnancies while you're still having sex without the intention of having children. There are ways to prevent it. So if that's a red flag for the guy, then I'm not sure what the entire point is. If the woman doesn't want to get pregnant, there are ways around it where she can take care of herself, even the guy as well, in a way that they would have sex and not have children. So, but this doesn't make that right. So Abdullah is saying. Abdullah was also saying that paying the bride price is the most important thing, and this does not necessarily apply. And the white and child marriage, pardon me, does not necessarily apply because that's from the colonial masters, and the major thing is paying the bride price. Okay, please call back. Please call back. All right, this is 8 minutes to the hour of 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. At this point, it's becoming clearer as we go into conversation that Rose's fiance is insisting on her getting pregnant before marriage, and we're trying to figure out the why. At the same time, we're trying to give Rose advice on what to do in her situation. She's saying she's thinking of leaving him. Should she leave him? Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, comrade, calling back.
Okay, comrade, real quick, please.
I want to tell you why some men used to think that a woman is supposed to get pregnant before they pay private. Let me tell you.
Okay.
The man, when they say the woman to get pregnant, himself is infertile. Maybe himself is suspecting himself. Another one, that man who talks to colonial master wedding, from colonial master, I don't feel laugh. That man, I support him. Maybe they have been fornicating. Another one, maybe the type of job the woman is doing. That's why I say there are some questions that they're supposed to ask, or we're supposed to know which we don't know. So, but let us make it do with what we hear. What I want to say is that you only got to know why that man wants that girl to be pregnant. Whether they are fornicating or whether they are romancing or whether they are kissing. Now we know what I condemn sex before marriage. Meanwhile, bride price is the ultimate thing to be paid before white wedding. If you pay the bride price, you do the something of the man, do the something of the woman, or what marriage. Marriage now. Marriage
Yes,
hello?
I'm going.
So what I want to say now is that I don't know why you say you can carry benefit, but if you condemn from the right of God, even both themselves condemn him.
Okay, so come on, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Even select condemn him. Every religion condemn him. How you command the woman to get pregnant?
Okay. Comrade, I understand. Let's stay on the point.
Okay.
You said something about her job. What does her job have to do with anything?
Mommy, he asked us so that we talk with the reason the second man to say looking pregnant for. So he said he's a first representative.
Yes, she's a sales agent.
Thank you. Let me tell you something. The time when I was working in Lagos as a union, we get some bankers who they say if they want to go and attract customers, and you're going to see so many things. So as you want me to talk, I go talk on the slide. You're going to see so many things and see. So let me leave it like that for now.
All right, thank you very much, comrade. So he's saying that first, is the man himself fertile? Is he good to go when it comes to childbearing? Is his reproductive system perfectly okay? That he's expecting for his fiancés to be okay as well? Enough to have babies, I mean. He's also saying that her job might be another concern for him. But I'm still not sure as to how that ties in with having a baby or getting pregnant before marriage. Even if she does all the worst things when she's seeking for jobs, which we shouldn't even say because we do not know if that's the case. And even if that's the case for some people, that can't be the case for everyone. So even if that's the case, why does she have to get pregnant? What does getting pregnant before marriage prove based on that? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please turn down the volume of your radio.
I've done that before.
Thank you so much. Please go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Ismail Abdullah is calling back.
Oga, oh yeah, sharp.
Yeah. Okay. What I mean by if they have been fornicating is that if they have been having sex before, then the issue of now having pregnancy before marriage, we should rule the God perspective or biblical or Quranic aspect, we should rule it out. It's no more relevant. So you can go ahead and have pregnancy before this thing. I get it. Because what the Quran says is that there shall be no sex before marriage. And I think the Bible says so the same thing. That is what I mean. That if they have been having sex together, it is found as a fornication. I get it, which means they have been fornicating together. Then the issue of now bringing God's word into the something is irrelevant. So you can go ahead and have them. But if they have not been doing it, I think you should still maintain her stand. But you should try to let her realize why she has maintained such virtue and why you should maintain it till after marriage.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, Abdullah. Even if they've been having sex before marriage, does that mean that she should get pregnant?
But what I'm saying is that it doesn't mean what I'm trying to say is that if they have been having sex,
I understand that the Quranic perspective.
What I'm saying is that we should rule God out of it.
I understand
because they have already broken the rule of God that there shall be no sex before marriage. I
understand that as well.
Are you getting my point?
I understand that.
God's rule is already out of it. So
I understand now we should not look at Abdullah. You get what I'm trying to say? I understand that. Please listen to me. I understand that. My point here is, this is 2022. We cannot say that. We cannot act like we don't know that people do these things. We cannot say.
This is 20th century also. So this is 20th century also. The man can also ask for something that has not been in the past. In the past, no sex before marriage. 20th century, you can have sex before marriage. 20th century, the man too can also go have the baby before marriage.
No, so I'm not disputing that he's asking. We're not disputing that he's asking. We're not disputing that he's asking. We're saying, why does he have to ask? Why does that have to be the case? And if she's declining, why is he insisting?
While I was talking, I said the Quran also hates it. The Bible also hates that if you say, okay, you should have a pregnancy before wedding.
Abdullah, you're repeating yourself. I understand what you're saying. I heard it the first time.
So I said if they have been fornicating before, then we should take God out of it.
I heard that too.
So I just want to make myself clear what I mean by that.
I heard that. What I'm saying is that even if that's the case, even if they've taken God out of it by fornicating, I'm not saying that that's what they did, but even if that's what they did, if the girl still doesn't want to get pregnant before marriage, why does she have to? That's my point.
Then you should try to explain to her to explain to the guy why she don't want to do it, and the guy also needs to explain why she wants it. Okay. But if she has maintained herself virtual from the beginning, you should still maintain that standard. I'm virtual and we have not had sex. I don't want us to have sex before marriage. And this is what Bible says. And if it's a Muslim, this is what the Quran says. But now he cannot say this is what because even in the Quran,
Thank you. I get you. I understand. You're repeating yourself. I understand you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Abdullah is basically saying that getting pregnant before marriage is not really a factor when it comes to the Quranic perspective or the biblical perspective if they're already having sex, because they've already broken one rule. So they might as well break the other rule if that's what they're doing. And he's saying this because you can't have sex before marriage according to the Quran and the Bible. So he's saying, if you've been having sex, why are you now saying, oh, now we don't want to have children or get pregnant before marriage? Same thing, since you've already broken one rule in that line of thought. So he's also saying, that's why I asked the question, that even if they've been having sex before marriage, isn't it still the girl's right to say that, oh, I don't want to get pregnant before marriage. Having sex is one thing. Getting pregnant is another thing. I don't want that. And I don't want that to be the case. And that's why he said, oh, you need to communicate that to the guy. And the guy also needs to talk to you about what the real reason for he wanting you to get pregnant is. And then both of you can come to a decision on what it is that you desire to do. But now I still want us to focus on the question. All right. So the why as to why he wants her to get pregnant, that's valid. But as much as we're addressing the why, we also need to address the real question that she's asking. Should she leave him is her question. 2 years into a relationship, she's engaged to him. They're engaged to be married. She wants to marry him. He wants to marry her. But he wants to marry her with the condition that she gets pregnant before marriage. So should she leave him? Because she's saying, I'm thinking of leaving him. After 2 years, I'm thinking of leaving him. Should I leave him based on this? What do you think about that? Should she leave him based on this? This is 2 minutes past the hour of 10 on Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. If you're just joining, this is Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. My name is Sumto Titilayo Adraman, and we're profiling Rose's story tonight. Rose is 27. She's a sales agent. Her fiance is 34. He's a factory worker. Rose is basically saying her fiance wants to marry her, but he wants to marry her knowing that she can get pregnant first. He wants to marry her after she's pregnant. So he wants to marry her making sure that she's pregnant before he pays her bride price. And she's saying she doesn't want this to happen and she's thinking of leaving him. So should she leave him? What are your thoughts? Should she? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Henry from Ikorodu.
Henry from Ikorodu. Are you calling for the first time?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us this evening again.
It's a longer course. I travel.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us.
How was your day? How is everything?
My day was good. Thank you. I hope yours was good too.
Thank God for today.
Awesome. Please go ahead. What do you think that Rose should do? Should she leave him?
Actually, I think he said that the lady said she wants to leave the guy, right?
She's saying she's thinking of leaving him because of this.
My own contribution is this. Because most guys nowadays, they prefer getting a woman pregnant before marriage. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Even my younger brother, her girlfriend is pregnant
It was last week Sunday. We went to see the family, planning for the introduction and some other things.
Is there a specific reason for this?
Hmm?
Is there a specific reason for this? Why is the reason? What is
I
the
called
defense
my younger
behind
brother
this?
one-on-one.
Yes, please.
I asked him why. He said he doesn't want to have experience of whereby maybe at the end of the day they will get married, settle down, pregnancy will not come.
Okay, so do you think this applies for most guys that want their girlfriends or their fiancé to get pregnant before marriage? Do you think this is possibly the case too?
Most guys, that is what they are really looking for.
Okay.
They want their girlfriend or their friends to get pregnant before any other thing first to be done. So since this lady now, she don't want it like that, I think the lady should call the guy one-on-one to sit him down, talk to him, let him understand. Are you getting me? Because nowadays, let me be honest to you, there is no guy or a girl you'll be dating somebody for 2 years, even a year, without making love to that person. It's not possible. In one way or another, it must surely happen. So since the deal has been done, fine. Let the lady sit that guy down. Have a one-on-one conversation with the guy. Are you getting me? They can just say, okay, this one fateful weekend, let them just hang out. Let the lady should take the guy out on his own. So put the guy down, let him understand the reason why you don't want such things to happen is that.
All right.
It's not that.
So should she leave him? Should she leave him? Do you think she should leave him?
Huh?
Do you think she should leave him? Or she should talk to him first? She should talk to him first.
Since they have done is it introduction or engagement? Which one?
Engagement. He just proposed to her. He has proposed to her.
He just proposed to her, right?
He has proposed to her.
So I believe if that guy did not love the girl, he would have proposed to that lady. And if the lady did not love this guy, he wouldn't have accepted that proposal from that guy. Are you getting me? So I don't want this kind of a thing bring distraction between both of them. I believe the lady should just call the guy and sit him down. Let them have heart conversation with each other.
All right. Thank you very much, Harry. Thank you for calling.
If the love is there, the guy you will give him a listen, and the guy will listen to him.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Harry is saying that to the best of his knowledge, he feels that young men these days are doing this because they want to make sure that they avoid stories that touch, in quotes. And this means that they want to avoid situations where they get into the marriage and then the wife can't have children. And he's saying that even his younger brother is doing this as well. His younger brother's girlfriend is pregnant at the moment. And this is before marriage. And they literally just went to seek her hand in marriage, bride price, and all of that.